One of the biggest things that I run into as a professor is students who struggle with the concept of documentation and citation of papers. This is a short screencast that will show you how to quote unquote cheat in getting this done and make writing your papers a whole lot easier. It will take away the frustration of trying to figure out citations and allow you to focus your attention on how to write the paper. So what I would like to do is I would like to assume that this is a paper that I'm writing. Obviously I put the title up here so that you'd know what we were at least talking about. Let's say that I'm writing my paper. And I'm writing my paper, and I come to my first source. I've been talking about worldview up here, and now all of a sudden I have a great definition of worldview that came from a book that I had read. So using Word 2010, and this works in 2007, 2010, and 2013 versions. Using Word 2010, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on this little button that says References. If you click here, you'll notice that right here it says Citations and Bibliography. And if I go up here, it's going to ask for a style. So if I click on the button here, I can pull down all kinds of styles. So I have MLAs here, I have APA here, so we're going to use the APA 6th edition. And that's what we're going to use for citing this paper that I'm writing. So this, obviously there's a bunch of writing here, and this is my first quote that I'm actually going to quote. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click on Insert Citation. And then because I want to be able to put my bibliography at the end, or my works reference in an APA format at the end, what I want to do is I want to click on Adding a New Source. The minute I click on that, I want to come down here and I want to click on the box that says Show All Bibliography Fields. And then I want to go through and look at how I'm going to cite my paper. So the first thing I'm going to do is say, what is the source that I got it from? So as you can tell here, there's all kinds of sources. Interviews, film, so that'd be like if you took a quote out of a movie, that kind of a thing. Sound recordings, art, electronic sources, a document from a website. So if you actually pulled a written document off of a website, it tells you how to cite that. Or if I just cited a website, which I'll show you how to do that in a minute. If I got it from a journal, from a periodical, out of a section of a book, I actually got this from a book, and so we're going to do that. And then what I want to do is, notice if I click all bibliography fields here, the little asterisks come up, and I want to try and fill as many of those as I can. So I do know that the name of the author of my first book is Brian McLaren. And the title of the book is The Secret Message of Jesus, and it was published in 2006, and the publisher was in Nashville. You don't have to put the state. I kind of like the state on there, but you don't have to. W Publishing Group is the publisher. And then because it's a book, I need to go down here and get that. I got it off of page 51. And then the other thing I want to just point out real quickly that doesn't apply to this but could apply to you, say that you're taking your information from an ebook. If you take your information in from an ebook, then you put your full URL of the page from your ebook right here. So that's just something to keep in mind, okay? So I've got all of my asterisks filled, or as filled as much as I can. I'm going to click OK, and now all of a sudden you'll notice that I have just cited my paper per APA 6th edition regulations. Okay. The other thing I've done is, notice I click on here and it has a little shading. That tells me that I've programmed, or I've put something into the memory for this document that I'm going to use later when it comes time to make my works cited page. Okay, so here I am. I'm going along. I type a bunch more, so I've got maybe a page of stuff that I've written here. And I come down and I want to put this in, okay? The word worldview comes from the translation of the German ideology called whatever. If you're German, you can say that. If I say it, I'm going to kill it, so I won't. It would be translated as, so this idea is translated as the overall perspective from which one sees and interprets the world. So what I need to do is, first of all, I need to realize that this phrase right here, I'm going to just highlight it here for you so you can see it. This phrase, or this sentence, has to be cited. And the reason is, it's not a quote, it's not a direct quote, but the reason I cited it is because I like the information But the information's not common knowledge. It's information I got from somebody else, so I have to give the credit to the place where I got the information. So we have to understand that. So I'm going to have to cite right here. So I'm going to actually put a space in, and I'm going to now cite this. So what I did was I actually cited this from a website, and it's the American Heritage Dictionary. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Okay, so the American Heritage Dictionary, and notice that the translation of the German word is right here. Okay, it's also up here, but I didn't actually use that particular part of the quote. Now notice that my quote that I gave comes from here as well, but it's two different things. So I need to let my reader know that this came from the web page as well as the quote came from the web page. If I just put the citation right there at the end of my quote, okay, and you do that in your paper, I'm going to nail you, because I'm going to highlight this right here, and I'm going to put a note over to the side that says this must be cited. This is not your information. You got this information from somewhere. So please keep that in mind. So notice what we're going to do. Now we're going to cite it. We're going to cite it properly. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to look at my website. And so here's my website. The information came from the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language. That's the name. Okay, that's also the name of the website, right? And here's the publisher of the website. So all that's here. We know that it was published in 2014. We know it's a 5th edition. This is all very, very important stuff. Okay, we also are going to go up here and I'm going to click on this and I'm going to make a copy, because this is the exact page that this information came from. That sounds good. Okay, so now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to insert my citation. Notice that McLaren is already stored, so I'm going to add a new source. And my new source is coming from a web page or a website. Okay, I don't know the author. Well, I'm going to click on my bibliography down here. I don't know the author, but I know that the name of the web page is the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language. All right, so that's the name of the web page. The name of the website is well, let me go down here and I can show you. So down here we're gonna go down here and we're gonna actually put the URL in, right? So I'm gonna paste that, but the actual name of the website is just that. Okay, so I do a Control-C. That gives me the capacity to copy. And then I can go back up here, and the name of the website is Control-V, ahddictionary.com. Okay, so I put that in. We know that it was published in 2014. Okay, I don't know what day or what year it was, but this is very, very important when I go from a website. I accessed it in 2015. I accessed it in February of 2015, and I accessed it on the 6th. Right? So it's very, very important that we put that in there. Right? So we're going through, I'm making sure that I don't have to add any other information here. Okay? We've got all the information that's needed. We don't have an author. And I'm just making sure, once again, I just check it all just to make sure that I didn't miss anything, and I need to put in here that it's the 5th edition. I need an I. Okay. So now that I got all that information in, I'm going to click on this, and notice that I just cited my page right here. But I'm going to have to go down here, and I'm going to have to insert this in citation, and I'm going to have to insert the, let me do this for ease of sight. I have to insert it again. You say, but you cited it twice this close. Yeah, that's because I have to have the direct quote cited specifically. But the reader's going to assume that the reader's going to assume that the information before that doesn't belong to the American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language. So that's why it must be cited in here twice. Okay? And so if you do that, okay, and so we're doing it, we get down to the end, and now I'm at my works cited page. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go here and I'm going to type works cited, can't spell, can't type, must be Friday. Okay, and I'm going to go down here. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go back to references, and I'm going to click on my bibliography. Okay, and when I click on my bibliography, I'm going to go down here where it says insert bibliography. The minute I insert bibliography and then note, I have now got my information. So I've got my author, the book name, the publisher. Okay, I've got the name of the second one, the website, the full URL of the website is here. The date I retrieved it, February the 6th, 2015, and the name of the website that I got it from. So the actual URL, you know, the www.name.com name. Okay, and so now what I would do is then I can go ahead and I can save this and turn in my paper. And I have cited this source properly, I have cited this properly, and I've cited the quote properly. Okay, now what you need to also understand is I use this source twice. That only counts as one source. Okay, you can't use the source twice and say I have two sources. So just keep that in mind. So if there's a minimum of 4 sources, you have to have 4 different sources. You can't have 3 sources that you used once, or 2 sources used once and a source you used twice. So if you keep that in mind, hopefully this will help you, and I wish you the best. If you have any questions, always get a hold of me, and I will be glad to answer them personally if I can. Have a great day. Hope this helps.